I keep saying initiative. His name's Oli Cox, and he's on the phone now. Hello, Oli.
Hello.
Yes, we've got you. Yay. People don't know what kind of drama I've had to go through this morning, but we're so happy to have you. How are you this morning?
Yeah, I'm good. Finally found a pair of headphones that actually work.
It's a lot of drama. We blame coronavirus, because back in February, you'd have been sitting opposite me, looking at this beautiful view of Canary Wharf I have. Now, if you have a question for Oli, if you're curious about what he does, you can get in contact. You can find us on the social, search Maritime Radio London or Maritime LDN, or you can email me with pictures and videos and whatever you want to put in. I can share it with Oli. It's hello@maritimeradio.co.uk. So, Oli, first question. You describe yourself as a psychic initiative. No, you tell me what you describe yourself as. I've been saying that wrong all morning.
Well, so it's just different words really to use it, but psychic medium, psychic intuitive. Intuitive is just talking about intuition, really. And yeah, that's... Yeah, sorry, what did you say?
Well, what is that? I've never heard. What is that? What do you do?
So I do reading for someone. So intuitive, I feel, covers a bigger field of... It could just be psychic energy. So between you and the person, or you and a place, or you and an object, that would be psychic energy. And yeah, or spirit, which is more mediumistic, which you're talking to maybe a loved one that's passed over. So I just say psychic intuitive, and I feel that just covers all fields of that, really.
So I have to ask, do you feel you're born this way? Is there a way you develop your senses and abilities?
Well, I think you've got to sort of have some sort of intuition. I believe we've all got intuition, and we've all got different psychic senses, different strengths in different areas. Some people are more visual, so they would be more clairvoyant. Some people quite empathic, so they're quite emotional. That's clairsentient. So we've all got these different strengths, but it's just whether we work on developing them. And yeah, I guess that I was quite, I say empathic, picking up emotions of people, in situations, things like that. But I didn't really know that that's what I was. There was no one to tell me, oh, it wasn't past. I didn't feel like there was anyone in my family that I could talk to about it. And I hadn't even seen a medium. It was just bizarre. And I went to have a reading when I was about 15. And from there on, it just sort of made me think, like, something clicked in my head, and I realised, and it just over years just sort of developing, meeting different people who have helped me like massively, and just slowly, just developed.
Okay, so I want. Oh, are you still there? You're still there. I want to ask about spirit readings, because you watch. I watch a lot of this stuff on TV, as I said, and they talk about how they see it. How does a spirit reading work for you?
So I feel that my strength is more clairsentient or claircognizant, which is like a knowing. I don't generally see physically with my eyes, sort of externally, but if I close my eyes, I can sort of build up more of a picture in my head. So so with the clairsentience, the feeling, that being more of the strength, I just get sort of a feeling of the person. So if the person maybe was a smoker or had breathing problems, I would maybe start to develop, well, not develop, but I would sense those, and then I'll just ask the feeling to go once I've explained it. And then maybe they had a bad leg, so I'll be drawn to my own leg, and then I would just sort of just describe this person, or if this person was funny, I would just get this, I would just sense their humour. It would just be so, and I would just be explaining this, or if I could get an image and I close my eyes, it just works better for me to close my eye, because it's not my actual strength, but it still works, and I prefer it, because then I'm not copying, I'm not looking at anything to do with the person, I'm just in the zone, if you know what I mean.
So is that why when we watch it on TV, it's for the person being read to put the clues or the feelings together?
Yeah, so as long as we're explaining it, it's just nice every now and then to just get a confirmation, or a yes or a no. I'm not trying to get any other information, but just to make sure I'm on the right path, to say, does that make sense? or if they say no, that's fine, and then I can just go back and just try to clarify why I got that image or why I got that feeling, and just maybe go into it a little bit more. But yeah, so it's
Oh, I have chills. I need to go to some adverts. I'm giggling because I think I'm a little bit nervous having Oli Cox on the phone, and I'm dancing to this track, and I'm on the edge of my chair. So if we hear a big thud while Oli is talking, it's just me. I've fallen off the chair. So we have Oli on the phone now. Oli Cox is a psychic intuitive. Have I said that right, Oli?
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect. So we're talking to him about his what he says is his abilities, what he does, and we're just kind of listening and asking questions that we don't get to ask these usual TV psychics and mediums like Teresa Caputo or Psychic Sally or Tyler Henry. Now, I really want to ask you this one, Oli. So, your day-to-day life, do you have a day job?
Yeah, I'm a carer, or...
Yeah. So, I hear an echo. We'll have to play with that one. So in your day-to-day life, when you're out and about, you're a carer, you go to the pub, do you hear voices in your head?
So I don't hear voices as such, but I can pick up on energy that's sort of buzzing around or whatever, and I do try to just sort of tune out, because I've learnt that that's not helpful, and it sort of stops me from my day-to-day life, if you know what I mean.
Wow. So you could just be literally walking down the street or talking to the guy in Argos, and you're just feeling this energy, you say?
Yeah, so I get it more as like feelings, and not necessarily voices, because the voices are generally in my own voice. So in my head I will hear my own voice, and it's hard to sort of distinguish sometimes what's yours and what's other people's, and it took quite a long time for me to differentiate that. But yeah, so I've just learnt to, if I then start to sense something about someone, or my ear will pop, or I'll get a tap on the shoulder or something, if I'm not in the right environment, or I'm not doing a reading, I find it quite, not pointless, but I find it quite irrelevant. So I just send that thought away, and I just carry on with what I'm doing, because that's the only way that, well, it stops you from going mad, really.
So I have to ask, so when we see people like Psychic Sally on stage and they're mimicking someone's voice, or they say, they can feel a restriction on their throat or something. Obviously, I need to say, TV shows like Psychic Sally always have the disclaimer that it's just for entertainment purposes only. But is it like a similar experience for you? The voice of the person is just coming through to you?
Well, it's very, I suppose maybe Psychic Sally maybe hears very externally. I'm not really sure. But yeah, so I would get more of like the impression of the person. So I would get the sense of who they were, what they felt like as a person, their personality, and I would work more in that way. And then if I was then building up a link with someone in the audience, or if you say doing a private reading, and they can take that person, the link starts to strengthen. So, and then maybe more senses would come in, and I would maybe then be able to add in what they sounded like, or it would gradually build as the reading went on.
Okay, so let me ask you, can you see into the future? Like, why haven't you won the lottery yet?
I'm not really sure if it works exactly like that, because I think that's more sort of ego and sort of wanting to be, I don't know, rich and famous, things like that, and spirit sort of work on a level of love. So it's sort of, yeah, you can't really predict those sorts of things. I'm sure that I know there's like octopuses and stuff that can, but
octopuses? What do you mean?
Oh, wasn't there an octopus that predicted the lottery numbers or something? I don't know. Yeah, I generally, like, when people come to me, I just say right from the beginning, like, I'm not going to be doing all of that. I'm there to talk to your nan that's passed over, and I'll try to sort of give constructive advice that's something that's going to be helpful to them, rather than, you can't just say to someone, oh, someone's going to die. Like, people are scared of mediums because they think that they're going to tell them something bad, and it just doesn't work like that. Like, you just wouldn't be able to get that sort of information because it's not on a love vibration, unless there's something that you can avoid, and maybe there's something that you could help this person with. yeah, so it has to be constructive in my own opinion anyway.
So I'm curious, what kind of people come to you? Is there a particular look?
Well, no, it's all sort of, it could be anyone. It could be someone who is sort of struggling to move forward with a career choice, someone who's lost someone. You get a lot of people that they're just not sure where they're going in the next sort of steps of their life, and they just want to hear from their nan who would always know the right things to say, and you just work as sort of like a telephone from the spirit world to this person. You're just the messenger, and yeah, so you just get like a whole yeah, like.
Yeah, I understand. Is there any like formal training or instruction? Is there a book? Could I go to Waterstones and like just buy a book and learn how to be a psychic or a medium or in that neighbourhood?
Well, there are books. I do like reading. I read a lot of Tony Stockwell, Gordon Smith, Mia Dolan. Yeah, there's just loads of different books, and it sort of tells you about their experiences, and there's some that help you sort of develop. I'd say meditation is a really key thing to maybe start getting into, and some people do meditate, but there's so many different methods and ways of meditating. But yeah, it's just about slowing down your mind to stop your own thoughts, well, not stop your thoughts, but slow them down so you can then interpret spirit, which is on a different frequency. It's quite complicated to explain, but yeah.
You know what, I'm glad we're doing this during the day, because if we had to do this at night time I wouldn't be able to compose myself. And I'm glad it's radio, that no one can see me, because I'm covered in goosebumps, my legs are crossed, I'm on the edge of the chair, I'm expecting to fall off any second now.
But also there is you can join a development circle. I've been in quite a few since I was 15, and there's a school in Essex, the Arthur Findlay College, for psychic science. So there's so many different ways that you can develop and study, because there's so many different avenues once you get into it as well. So yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you, when you have someone in for a reading, what's it like? Are you dressed in, I don't know, a costume? Are you sprinkling sage everywhere? What happens?
So I'll just dress up as a witch and wear like a witch's hat. No, I'm joking.
Thank you for being a good sport.
No, basically, like just wear whatever I'm comfortable in. So if they're going to come to my house, I'll just be wearing trackies. Just whatever's comfortable, really. And it's just it's not formal. I feel like it's just relaxed. It's just like having a chat with a friend. I suppose it's
I guess it's quite emotional.
Yeah, it can be, and sometimes I can sense when maybe I need to, I don't know, maybe stop for a little bit and just ask the person how they are, because I'm just like saying stuff. I've sometimes got my eyes shut, and I look up and the person's like in floods of tears, and I'm like, oh God, I've made them cry. But it's not. It's because that they've been able to. Sometimes it's just when their feelings can be validated or they get heard. When someone can understand, it's just strange. It's really strange. And spirit, like their loved one would give a message that connects to where they're at in life, and it's bizarre. I still don't understand how it works. It's just yeah.
Have you ever done audiences? Have we done like an evening with Oli Cox yet?
Not as such, but I have practiced doing it. And I've done it in front of about 30 people at the Arthur Findlay College in Essex, but it was terrifying.
I have to ask, sorry to cut you off, but how, my mic is not on, whoops. How do you practice with an audience? Because this is going to lead to me talking about cold reading, but you go first.
Well, practicing, I did a course, and it was sort of like maybe 4 or 5 days, and you stay there, and just the whole week we were just practicing on each other in the class. So there's about 30 people in the class, and every session you would just work with a different person, and you're just building the link, working on how to maintain the link, and then it was just boom.
Okay.
We swapped classes, and then we just did it in front of another class, and it was scary.
Okay, so I've got this definition of cold reading. It says cold reading is a set of techniques used by mentalists, psychics, fortune tellers, and mediums, and it means without prior knowledge And it's a practice cold reader can quickly obtain a great deal of information by analysing, body language, what the person is wearing, just literally anything. What are your views on cold reading as someone who calls himself a psychic medium?
Well, I think there are a lot of people that give psychics and mediums a bad name, and I think there's just like a stereotype that, like you see, it was on EastEnders the other day or whatever, and Mo, she's dressed as this gypsy, and it's just it gives off this just like funny idea of what it is that we do, and also there are people that they are just to try to con people, and it's quite sad really, because I know quite a few mediums that are very good at what they do, and yeah, but it doesn't stop me from wanting to do what I do. It's just if people are trying to make fun of it or whatever, I just don't talk to them about it, because it's like I'm not going to waste my time, because there are people that are interested in what I do, and do you know what I mean? I just sort of just don't really I just don't really entertain it. But yeah, like the cold reading side, I generally when I'm doing a reading, I'll work with tarot, so I'm looking down at the cards, or I've got my eyes shut and I'm working with spirit. So it's like I'm not really that. I'm not paying attention to that person like in front. I am paying attention, but I'm not reading their body language and stuff, because I'm trying to focus on their energy. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of yeah.
Wow. Where can people find out about you? Maybe they want a reading, they want to Google you, your Instagram. Where can we go to find out more about Oli Cox?
So I've got Facebook and Instagram, Oli Cox Intuitive. Also I've got a website, www.olicox.co.uk. So you can find details of how to book a reading or a session, on there.
Wow, Oli. I think I need a stiff drink after that. Wow. Thank you so much for joining us. Just give out your social media one last time for us.
So it's Oli Cox, OLICOX, and then Intuitive. So all one word.
Thank you, Oli. Wow, wasn't that something? 22 minutes to 10. Let's have a little Vanessa Williams and Harvest for the World.